it's Coach Taryn from MFG, and I will be going through the conditioning for Beginners and Beginners2. We're going to start off with some jumping jacks, and we're going to do 20 of them. Remember, in jumping jacks, we jump out like a star and then in like a pencil. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Alright, and next we're going to do squat jumps. So our legs come together, we bend down, touch our hands to outsides of our legs, and then we're going to jump up, arms to our ears. We're going to do 10 of them. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Beautiful. All right, next we're going to go into sit-ups. So we're going to lay on our back, and if you have a family member, or you can stick your feet under your couch to hold your feet down, you're going to put your arms across your chest or behind your head. We're going to do 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, when you lay back down, you don't want your booty to come off the floor. 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, 10. All right, now we're gonna flip over to push-ups. And first we're gonna do a push-up hold so we can get that nice form. So we're gonna put our hands shoulder width apart, straight below us. Our hands aren't out here, and they're definitely not back here. Nice and straight below our shoulders. We're gonna hold, our back is nice and flat. Our seat's not up in the air, it's not down low, it's nice and flat. We're looking at the floor right above our hands, right in front of our hands, and we're gonna hold for 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna come down, we're gonna rest, shake out our arms, and then we're gonna get back in our push-up position for some push-ups, and we're gonna try 5 of them today. So back in that push-up position, keep this nice body shape, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, and last but not least, we are going to do burpees. So with burpees, it's kind of like we do a squat jump with a push-up hold. So we're gonna jump up, squat, we're gonna kick our legs up behind us in a nice push-up, legs back in, and jump. And that's 1. So to start off, we're gonna do 10. So we're gonna jump, squat, push-up, squat, jump. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and one more, 10. Awesome job, you guys. Hope to see you back in the gym really soon. All right, moving on, we are going to do Superman holds. So for Superman, we're gonna lay on our belly. Our legs are coming together, nice and straight, and our arms are coming forward. Coach Judy sometimes likes to call this Supergirl. Okay, so when I say up, we're gonna arch our back and lift up our arms and legs, keep them nice and tight together. We don't want them coming apart or bent, okay? So up and then down, and I want you to come down nice and slowly so you don't flop and hear a noise, okay? We're gonna do 10. And up, we're looking straight forward, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. That's 5. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, last one, up, and down. And those are super bands. Hey guys, it's Coach Taryn from MFG, and we are going to do some stretching. So first we're going to start off with our positions. So we're going to start off with attendance, legs together, feet together, everything's nice and straight, arms by our side, we're looking straight forward. And then we're going to move into present, so everything stays the same except for our arms go up to our ears. We're going to hold this, we're squeezing nice and tight so our arms don't go away from our ears. We're not standing like this, we're standing nice and tall and straight. Still looking forward. Stretching nice and tall. And we're gonna turn for our lunge. So our good leg is in front. Front leg is bent, back leg is straight. Arms to our ears, we're leaning forward and we're looking ahead. Now we're gonna switch legs, so everything from the hips up stays the same and we just switch our legs. Front leg is still bent, back leg is still straight, lean forward. And now we're going to do star stand. So remember our legs are a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. They're nice and straight. Arms go out to the side, palms are back instead of down. They're back and we're pushing our arms back and out. So we're reaching out to the sides, but we're also pushing our shoulder blades together. And straddle stand, arms come up. Legs stay the same. This time we're reaching up nice and tall. And now we're going to reach to our right leg. And up and over to the left leg, keeping our legs straight. Trying to get our head and nose to our knee. And up and to the middle. All right, now we're gonna do squat and squat stand. So our feet come together and we're gonna put our arms out on the outsides of our legs. We're gonna try to keep our chest up though. We're trying not to touch our knees to our chest. Trying to keep our shoulders and head up, barely just touching the ground. And now we're gonna try some squat stand. So our arms raised to the side middle, palms back instead of down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and immediately stand up and present. All right, next we're gonna go into our sitting position. So I'm gonna sit down and pike sit. My legs are together and straight out in front of me. I'm pointing my toes. I'm nice and straight, I'm not slouched over. Nice and tall. Arms come up for open seated pike sit. And closed seated pike sit. We're just gonna bend down. Remember to keep your head down in between your ears, or your ears in between your arms. And back up to open seated. And now to straddle. So I'm going to turn sideways. My legs come out to the side. My toes are still pointed. My legs are still straight. My back is still straight up and down. I'm still not slouching. So open seated straddle. And I'm going to reach to the right. Trying to get my nose to touch my knee. And back up to open seated straddle and to my left leg. And open seated straddle. And now finally we're going to lean forward to closed seated straddle, but remember our knees need to stay up or back. Same with our toes. We never want our legs to roll forward so our toes touch the ground. So they always stay up to the sky, but our body goes forward. And remember to keep your head down too. Alright, and now to butterfly. So I'm just going from my legs straight out, and I'm just keeping everything the same, except I'm bending my knees so my feet come in to touch. It's almost like crisscross applesauce without your legs sitting on top of one another. I'm going to hold my feet. I'm going to kind of push them towards my butt, and I'm going to lean forward. Now I'm going to put my hands on my knees and try to push them down to the floor. Alrighty. Now we're going to go into our back stretches like candlestick, tabletop, and bridge. So first we're going to rock and roll our back. So I'm going to hug my knees, and I'm going to roll back up onto my shoulders and back to my seat 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Now for candlestick, I'm going to sit in my pike sit again. My hands go by my seat, and I'm going to roll back on top of my shoulders, and my toes go in the air. And I'm going to try to be looking at my toes while they're reaching to the sky and not over my head. You can also put your hands on your back, kind of in the middle to keep your balance. If not, you can hold on to the floor. Remember to point your toes and keep your legs straight. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, and then I'm gonna rock and roll my back 3 more times. And 3. All right, now I'm gonna go into tabletop. So I'm going to put my feet the tiniest bit apart. You can also put them together. I'm gonna put my hands behind me, fingers facing my feet. And I'm gonna push my hips up to the sky so I create a nice flat surface. I'm kind of looking forward at whatever my knees are pointing to and my toes are pointing to. I'm not letting my head sit back. And I'm holding for 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And if you need to, you can rock and roll your back 3 more times. And 3. All right. And finally, we're going into bridge. So I'm going to put my feet like they were for tabletop. A little bit further, or a little, roughly around shoulder width or hip width. I'm going to lay on my back. I'm going to put my hands like this, and then I'm going to bend my fingers back so that they face, or that they're pointing towards my shoulders. My elbows are up in the air, and then I'm going to act as if someone's pulling me by a string attached to my belly button, and I'm going to push up on all 4s into a bridge. No, my head's not looking at my hands. It's also not looking at the sun. It's kind of just nice and relaxed in the middle where my ears are covered by my arms. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ugh. And then rock and roll your back 3 more times. All right, now we're going to go into some of the additional stretching where it's wrists, ankles, and shoulders. So we're going to start with our shoulders, and we're going to do a few arm circles forward. So I'm going to take my right arm, and I'm just going to circle it forward 4 times. 3, 4. And now my left arm. 1, 2, 3, 4. My right arm backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4. And my left arm backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now they're a little bit warmed up. Now I'm going to take my arm cross body, and then I'm going to take my arm and hook it. Nice and relax the shoulder. We don't want it up by our face. Keep it nice and down, and pull slightly at your arm to feel a good stretch. And then a few motions, and the other arm. Keep your shoulder nice and relaxed. And a few moving motions. And now we're going to go up. I'm actually going to get down so you can see this better. My arm raises up and it bends behind my head. I'm going to grab my elbow and push slightly down, not too much. My arm is kind of in the middle of my back, reaching down. Alright, a few moving motions, and other arm, it goes up. I help it move back. I grab my elbow and I push my hand so it's in the middle of my back and reaching down. And a few moving motions. Alright, next are the wrists. So I'm going to take my hands, I'm going to fold them like this, and then I'm just going to move them in some wacky motions. And then once I get the hang of this, I'm just going to make it a little faster. Alright, now I'm going to take my hands, go like this, stick my elbows out, move one of my hands a little higher than the other, and push back. And I'm going to switch hands, so elbows out, move the other hand slightly on top of the other one, and push back. Alright, roll out my wrists a little more. Now I'm going to go to my ankles. So I'm going to sit in pike sit. I'm going to take one of my feet, I'm going to cross it over. And I'm going to grab my toes and I'm going to roll 5 circles forward. And 5 circles backwards. Alright, now I'm going to switch legs. So my other leg goes on top, bends on top of my other one, holding my toes, and I'm rolling 5 circles forward. And 5 circles backwards. Another fun thing you can do to stretch your ankles is you can place them slightly apart, not too far, and make sure they're not too close. And then you're going to try to keep your heels where they are, and you're going to try to spell your name in all capital letters with just your big toes. I'm going to go T, A, right, my knees there, R, Y, and N. I'm just going to do it again. T, A, R, Y, N. And of course, you can spell your own name.
All right, we are going to work on some headstands now. We haven't worked on we don't work on headstands very much in class, but let's do it today. Coach Taryn has a pillow. It's a little bigger than it needs to be, so you can also use a smaller pillow like that, and that's going to protect our head a little bit, okay? So Coach Taryn's going to put that pillow down, and we're going to start with a tripod. Okay, she's going to put her head down, and she's going to try to balance her knees on her elbows. Look at that. That is called the tripod. And she made that look really easy, but that is a little harder than it looks. So I want you to practice doing tripod a couple times, okay? Hands nice and flat. Make a little shelf with your elbow, and then get your legs up on your elbows and just hold it there. That is the tripod. So that is a good step one for a headstand. Okay, now I think Coach Taryn is going to push that pillow away. You probably noticed that we're at the gym, and so she's got a nice foam carpet, but I would like you to keep on using your pillow at home. I don't want anybody to hurt their head. Okay, so let's do that tripod again. I want us to try that a few times. Okay, and this time I want you to hold it and count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good job. All right, we're going to pause the video for a minute, and I would like you to try the tripod for about 2 minutes on your own. We're going to move to the next phase of working on our headstand. Coach Taryn is going to start back in her tripod again, but then she's going to bring her knees together, and she's going to lift her legs up, and we're doing a little tuck now, okay? So the goal was all the way up, but right now we're just going to work on doing that tuck and learning how to balance and learning how to hold it in the tuck. Okay, why don't you come on back down, Taryn? Okay, let's do it again. We're going to go from the tripod. All right, everybody, you're in your tripod. And now let's go up into a tuck. Okay, and let's try to hold that for good balance. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job, guys. All right. I would like you to each try doing that tuck headstand 2 more times, okay? All right, we're ready for the last step of the headstand. Now I want to remind you that when you're in your headstand, you want to have a nice straight back. You don't want to be hunched over. You don't want to be archy. And also, working on your headstand is good for your handstand, okay? All right, so Coach Taryn's going to do her tripod, and then her tuck, and then slowly and carefully go all the way up to the headstand. And now she's in her tuck and all the way up to a nice straight headstand. And she's holding that up nice and straight. All right, come on back down, Coach Taryn. And I would like you to do it with us now, if you didn't already. Here we go. Head down, hands down, tripod, tuck, and all the way up into a nice straight headstand. Not archy, not bending your back, not sticking your belly out, nice and straight. That is a beautiful headstand. All right, I would like you to practice your headstand, but before we practice with you, I want to show you just 2 more things. Once you get good at your headstand, you'll probably start skipping the tripod. So Coach Taryn is just going to put head down, hands down. She's going to go to her tuck. And then she's going to slowly go right up into beautiful headstand. So after you get good, you can skip that tripod. And then the last step, the ultimate kind of no tripod, no tuck, is just kicking straight up, nice and slow and strong, into a headstand. Okay? Very nice. So I don't want you to skip the tripod right now, but that's what we're working towards. All right, guys, I want you to practice your full headstand for 2 minutes now. Tripod to tuck, and then all the way up. Go nice and slow and squeeze tight. All right, go for it.
work on our forward roll. So remember, our forward roll always starts in a present, feet together, everything is nice and straight. Arms up. And then we're going to bend at the knees and the hips, and we're going to put our arms down, and then our butt goes up in the air as we put the back of our head on the ground, and we roll, stand, and present to finish. Alright, so again, nice and slowly, present, squat, hands down, seat in the air, tuck your head in. It's almost like as if you're trying to touch your nose to your belly button. And roll and stand. Remember, when we stand up, we don't want to put our arms behind us to help us stand up. We want to try to do it with our momentum and just our legs, the arms to our ears. So let's do 4 of them together. Present, bend down, and roll. 1. Present, bend down, roll. 2. Present, bend down, roll. 3, and last one, all on your own. Alrighty, let's move on to backward roll. For backward roll, again, we start in present and we'll end in present. So we're going to start in present, and let's do a few drills to help us get our toes over our head. So we're going to do some standing positions back into a candlestick, but instead of our feet going straight up, we're going to shoot our toes back to the wall with our hands by our ears. Just like that. Let's do 3 of those. Present, and shoot your toes to stand back up. Present, roll, shoot your toes, and stand back up. And one more. Alrighty, let's try the whole backward roll now. So start at present. I'm going to roll from my tailbone all the way up to my shoulders. I'm going to push off my hands, and I'm going to land in a squat, and then I'm going to stand up. Just like that. Let's do 4 of those. Present. I'm going to roll, land in a squat, and then stand up. Alright, 3 more. Present, roll, and stand up. 2 more. Remember to present. And last one. Alright, let's go into our lunges and our levers. So remember, in our stretching, in our positions, we do a lunge by putting our good leg in front, feet turned out, front leg bent, back leg straight, arms up to our ears. We're leaning a little bit forward, and we're looking forward. Okay, this is a nice lunge. Just hold it for a few seconds. Alright, and now what a lever is you start in your lunge, you kick up, keep this leg stays on the floor the whole time. This one goes up into the air, arms always by our ears, and we're always in a nice straight body. Okay, we shouldn't be like this in our lever. So this is what a lever looks like. I'm in my nice lunge. I'm going to go into the letter T, and then I'm going to go down. My hands touch the floor, my leg is up in the air. I go back to my T, and back to my lunge. Let's do 4 levers. Lunge, T, lever, T, lunge. Remember to always point your back foot and try to keep your legs as straight as you can. So let's do another one. Lunge, T, lever, T, lunge. 3 more. You don't want to want to do these too fast in case you lose your balance, but you can get a little bit faster each time as you get more confident. Doing my last one. Beautiful. All right. Now to get into our handstand, if we're not too confident, we're going to do some small kick-ups using the levers. So what that looks like is a lunge right into our lever, and we're just going to kick up our bottom foot just a little bit, making sure that we're still landing 1 foot at a time as we take off 1 foot at a time. So this is what it looks like again. My bottom foot's barely coming off the ground, just a little bit. All right. And as I get more confident, I can start to lift that foot up a little more. Make sure that when you're doing handstands, you're always squeezing your body. You don't want to kick up and just go all like a noodle. You want to be nice and tight, so if you fall over, it won't hurt. Another small kick up, back to my lunge. Now I'm getting a little more confident, so I'm going to go to a wall. Right. Remember that when you do any skill against a wall, it has to be clean. You can't have a window, you can't have a shelf, you can't have a picture frame. It has to be a bare wall, like the red wall right here. Next thing is that you need to have an open space just in case you tip to one side or the other. We don't want to knock anything down and break anything, or you don't want to hurt yourself. So starting with our lunge and our small kick-ups, I'm going to be a nice distance away from the wall, but not too much, but I definitely don't want to be too close. To see what a good distance is, you can do your lunge and do your lever and see where your hands would land if you were to do a handstand. Now I'm a little far away, so I'm going to scoot in the tiniest bit, and I'm going to do another lever. All right, and now I'm going to practice my small kick-ups. Your hands should be close to the wall, but not touching. So I'm going to practice a small kick-up, back to my lunge, and I'm going to do a few of these to gain confidence. Let's do 3. All right, now that we're confident, I want us to do a full handstand. So what a full handstand will look like against the wall is a nice lunge, a nice lever, I kick up, I'm squeezing my body, and my feet go together. Let's try that again. I'm nice and tall, I'm not archy where my seat sticks out, and I'm not like this where my knees are bent. Nice and tall, pushing tall in my shoulders so I'm not saggy. And back down to a lunge, 1 foot at a time. Let's try 4 handstands against the wall. I'm pointing my toes, one leg comes down at a time to a lunge. I'm not looking at my hands, I'm kind of looking at the floor, or even a little bit at where my feet would land if I were in a lunge. And last one. All right, after we do our handstands on the wall, we're going to move to a nice open area. Remember, no couches, no beds, no coffee tables, no dressers. It has to be a nice open space. You can even go outside on the grass, or if you have a gymnastics mat at home, like a panel mat, you can use that too. So we're going to apply the same thing that we did on the wall, but now there's obviously not a wall. So a nice lunge, and we're going to go back to our small kick-ups, trying to kick up more and more each time to get more confident, until soon my feet come together and I make a handstand. Now when we do handstands, a lot of people, when they start doing handstands, they kick up one leg at a time and then they come down like this with their feet together. We don't want to do that. We want to come down 1 foot at a time, and more specifically we want it to land in our good leg lunge. So the leg that we kick up the last one to get off the floor is the first one to touch the floor. So if you watch my left leg, because that's my good leg for handstands, it leaves the floor last, but it's the first one to touch the floor. Okay, let's do 5 handstands together. Lunge, lever, kick up, back to lunge. And last one, make it the best one. To beam. Now my beam right now is just a tape line on the floor. You can have 2 pieces of tape 4 inches apart because that is the width of a beam. I just have 1 for right now. And I'm going to start in the middle with our beam position. So first, I'm going to start on my seat. My feet together in front of me as if I were on a real beam. My hands are going like this behind me, thumbs touching. My chest is nice and open, my shoulders are back, and I'm going to lift my feet off the floor and point them for tuck sit. I'm going to hold it for 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Taking a little rest, and then I'm going to go into V-sit. The easiest way to get into V-sit is to start in your tuck sit and then straighten your legs. Everybody V-sit, so feet up, legs straight, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, now I'm going to switch and I'm going to go on my hands and knees. My hands are doing that same thing, thumbs touching, as if I'm grabbing the beam. One of my knees stays on the line, and my other one goes straight out and back. This is called knee scale. My toe is pointed, it's not up here, it's not way down here, it's not bent, nice and straight back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I'm going to switch legs, trying to stay on my little tape beam. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I'm going to go into lunge and stand up. Alright, now let's start with our walks. So I'm going to start on this end. This is going to be my starting end, and I'm going to dismount on that end, then I'm going to walk back each time. So the first walk we're going to do is regular walking, hands side middle, but instead of our palms facing the floor, they're going to be facing back, and I'm going to push my arms back a little bit so that my shoulder blades are squeezing tight together. So normal walking all the way to the end. I'm trying not to look at my feet, trying to keep my arms in the same place, nice and slow. And then for dismount, my feet are coming together, arms behind me, knees bent, and then I'm taking a big straight jump, sticking it, and finish. So that is our regular forward walking. And now I'm going to do one more. So same thing, arms back, eyes and chest up, nice straight walking, my legs are mostly straight, all the way to the end. Arms get put behind me, legs bent, and big dismount, and finish. Alright, now we're going to do some backwards walking. So this time my hands are going to be put on my hips, and I'm going to walk backwards on my beam. Again, I'm trying not to look at my beam or behind me. And I'm going to try to feel for the end of the tape with my toes rather than looking. When I think I'm at the end, I will turn around. I think I'm at the end, so I'm going to turn around. I was right. Alright, arms behind us for dismount. And go. Stick it and finish. Let's do another backwards walk. So again, our hands are on our hips. We're nice and tall. We're not slouching. We're not looking at our feet. We're walking all the way down our tape beam. Trying not to look behind me. Trying to guess where my end is. I think I found it. Alright, and dismount. Alright, the next walk is our releve forward walks. And now releve means on our tippy toes with straight legs, okay? So for this one, our arms are going to be up to our ears. Now when I say put your arms to your ears, I don't want you to go like this because I can still see your ears. So we're nice and straight up. We're trying not to stick our ribs out. We're going to tuck those in. We're going to try to just move our arms and put them either on our ears or right behind them. And then we're going to go up on releve. We're going to do some nice, slow walking with straight legs all the way down. Trying to keep my arms in the same spot, trying not to look at my feet. When I get to the end, I'm going to dismount. Alright, let's do releve walking one more time. So I'm going to make sure that my arms are in the right position before I start walking. Nice and high on my tiptoes, straight legs, all the way down the beam. And dismount. Alrighty, next we're going to go into our flamingo walks or our passe walks. So we're going to have a nice straight leg, straight base leg, and our other leg, we're going to point our foot, and then we're going to place our big toe at the side of our knee. Our arms are going to come in front of us as if we're holding like a big beach ball. Okay? We don't want a deflated one, and we don't want one where it makes our arms straight. Nice round beach ball. I'm going to keep a flat foot. I'm going to hold, step, and do the same with the other leg, all the way down. As you walk, try not to let your beach ball deflate as you walk. Try to keep it nice and big, nice and round, all the way to the end. When I get to the end, I'm going to dismount and finish. Alright, next we are going to do sideways walking. So I'm going to be on flat feet, my legs are going to be straight. I'm going to put my arms out to the side, palms back, shoulder blades pressed together, and I'm going to step together all the way down. And of course, when I get to the end of the beam, I will turn forward so I'm not dismounting off of my tape beam sideways. And dismount. Now we did one way, we're going to do the other way. So now I'm going to face away, my palms back, shoulder blades together, and sideways walking. I'm turning forward and dismounting. Alright, the next thing we are going to do is, the last thing we are going to do is arabesque. So for arabesque, our base leg is going to be nice and straight, our chest is going to stay up, our arms are coming out to the side, palms back, pressing our shoulder blades together, and that back leg is going to come up nice and straight, pointed toe. I'm going to be looking straight, I'm not going to let my chest fall, nice and straight. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now I'm going to switch legs. So I'm going to put my other leg down, arms out to the side, palms back, shoulder blades together, lifting my back leg so it's nice and straight and my foot is pointed. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Have a good day.
All right, girls, I hope you enjoyed class today, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.